primary election has grabbed national attention, in part because former President Trump, who lost the state in 2020 after desperately trying to overturn the election there, has endorsed a candidate in nearly all 10 of the races. So tonight is turning out to be a test. How powerful is the Trump endorsement? ABC's Alex Presha takes a look.
With November's decisive midterm election less than 6 months away, primary season is in full stride. Democrats are attempting to hold on to as many congressional seats as possible and hope their advantage trickles down to the state level. And Republicans are trying to turn the tides across the board. An endorsement by former President Trump has become a major key in that quest. Candidates at almost all levels of government are seeking his seal of approval.
We have to pick somebody that can win.
And Trump has played ball. As of today, he's given out more than 160 endorsements across 37 states in this midterm season. Compare that to President Biden, who's given out a total of 2.
It's a long list of names here. Is there any precedent for a political figure making this many endorsements during a primary season?
He's taken it to another level now that he's an ex-president. He's endorsed about twice as many candidates at this point in the cycle as he did at this point in the 2020 cycle.
Nathaniel Rakich has been tracking endorsement data for 538, which provides data-driven analysis for ABC News.
I think he wants to make sure that the party stays loyal to him, kind of stays on this Trumpian trajectory rather than maybe drifting back to the old Republican establishment.
How do you grade the Trump endorsement thus far?
There's no kind of surefire way to measure the power of a Trump endorsement. Trump likes to endorse a lot of people who are running in either uncontested races or races that they're almost certain to win because they're facing, an underfunded challenger, for example. So that really pads his record.
We do know Trump's played a critical role in a handful of high-profile primaries already. Ohio Republican U.S. Senate candidate J.D. Vance was pushed across the finish line after a big boost from Trump.
I have absolutely got to thank the 45th, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, ladies and gentlemen.
And in Pennsylvania, gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano won in a crowded field with Trump's endorsement.
There's this movement here that's going to shock the state here on November 8th. It's going to be beautiful.
He was the only candidate in the race subpoenaed by the January 6th Congressional Committee for his involvement that day at the Capitol. And then there's Pennsylvania Senate candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz, who struggled with voters after appearing to change his views on abortion.
If you state something, if you have a position or a policy, stand by it and own it. Don't flip-flop.
President Trump supports Dr. Oz. I also support Dr. Oz.
Oz in a dead heat race with his opponent, David McCormick. That race still too close to call. And tonight in Georgia, GOP Senate candidate Herschel Walker is poised for a big victory. Polls showing him up by double digits. But not all of Trump's endorsements have been successful.
Don't let this deter you.
Charles Herbster lost the Nebraska GOP governor's primary earlier this month. Leading up to the election, controversy surrounding him polarized the state's GOP establishment.
In Nebraska, his endorsed candidate for governor there was beset by scandal, a sexual harassment scandal, and yet was still very competitive and came within a couple of points of winning.
And then there's Congressman Madison Cawthorn of North Carolina, an incumbent who lost. Cawthorn coming under fire for comments like these.
Then all of a sudden you get invited to, well, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove, addiction in our country. And then you watch them do, a key bump of cocaine right in front of you.
Cawthorn even rebuked by House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
He's lost my trust. He's going to have to earn it back. He's got a lot of members very upset.
In response, Cawthorn later released a statement on Twitter saying the left and the media want to use my words to divide the GOP. Still, experts say these candidates would likely have fared worse without Trump.
There are lots of undecideds, and, whether Trump's endorsement is worth 5 percentage points or 20 percentage points, that can make a difference in a close race.
Tonight, Georgia will be the latest test of Trump's endorsement power. As one of the key states targeted by his big lie, falsely claiming that the 2020 election was stolen, his endorsements in the Peach State could help put loyalists in positions of power to overturn elections should Trump run in 2024.
Brian Kemp is a turncoat. He's a coward.
Trump notably standing by former Senator David Perdue in the governor's race against incumbent Brian Kemp.
This governor's race right now will determine whether or not we have a conservative Republican in the White House in 24. He has divided our party. He allowed him to steal the election. He denied it. He is now covering it up, and he's suppressing evidence.
Tonight's results could be a bellwether for his endorsement in other races. It could also potentially raise the question about his influence on the party. But a complete answer is likely still months away.
When Trump loses a race, especially a high-profile one, there are all of these headlines about whether his grip on the party is loosening. And while that's certainly a valid question to ask, no one election is going to tell us that.
Our thanks to Alex Presha for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.